this is just how my day's been going. Welcome everybody. If you're new here, my name is Crystal and this is my September TBR. I had originally picked out my TBR papers and everything, and yeah, my camera would not give up the film footage. So here I am again. We are going to start with, I picked a book with one word title. And so I picked Mirrorland for that choice. It's about two sisters who Kat lives in Los Angeles, far away from 36 Westerick Road, the imposing Gothic house in Edinburgh, where she and her estranged twin sister Elle grew up. As the girls, they invented Mirrorland, a dark imaginary place under the pantry stairs full of pirates, witches, and clowns. These days, Kat rarely thinks about their childhood home or the fact that Elle now lives there with her husband Ross. But when Elle mysteriously disappears after going out on her sailboat, Kat is forced to return. All right, excellent. I am looking forward to this one. And then I got, my next pick was a book with multiple POVs. And so for that one, I chose Frederick Bachman's Anxious People. And this is about a poignant comedy about a crime that never took place, a would-be bank robber who disappears into thin air, and 8 extremely anxious strangers who find they have more in common than they ever imagined. I want to read Frederick Bachman's Beartown, but I received this one from a little free library, so I'm excited to read that one. And then my next choice was a book that has spice. And so for that one, I chose Pucking Around by Emily Rath. Now, I read the prequel to this that one night, it was called, and there was lots of spice in that. So I am hoping that this is the same. It is a hockey romance. And on the back it says, in this spicy best-selling TikTok hockey romance series debut, one ambitious woman scores a major career goal, but when it comes to all the hot options in her personal life, why choose? Now, this will be my first why choose trope, so it will be interesting to see how I like it. And then my next pick was a romantasy book. And for that one, I picked Obsidian by Jennifer L. Armentrout. And it says, beautiful face, beautiful body, horrible attitude. It was the holy trinity of hot boys. And it sounds like it's a girl who moves to West Virginia right before her senior year. And then her neighbor is hot. I spotted my hot neighbor with his looming height and eerie green eyes. Things were looking up. And then he opened his mouth. But it turns out the neighbor and his family are aliens. So I will see what I think of that. I have the second one in the series as well. I'm not sure if it's just a duology or what, but my next choice was a mystery or thriller book. And that one I picked Never Lie by Frida McFadden. I've heard lots of recommendations for this one. Sometimes the truth kills. Newlywed Trisha and Ethan are searching for the house of their dreams. They think they found it when they visit the remote manor that once belonged to Dr. Adrian Hale, a renowned psychiatrist who vanished without a trace years ago. But when a winter Violent winter storm traps them in the state the house begins to lose its appeal. Stuck inside and growing restless, Tricia stumbles on a collection of audio transcripts from Dr. Hale's sessions with patients, and she starts listening to them, and it might have something to do with her disappearance. And then my last choice with my TBR jar is a book with a great first sentence. And so I chose The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. And the first sentence is, "The lake is darker than a coffin with the lid shut." And this one is about Casey Fletcher, a recently widowed actress trying to escape a streak of bad press, has retreated to the peace and quiet of her family's lake house in Vermont. Armed with a pair of binoculars and several bottles of bourbon, she passes the time watching Tom and Catherine Royce, the glamorous couple living in the house across the lake. They make for good viewing. A tech innovator, Tom, is powerful, and a former model, Catherine, is gorgeous. One day on the lake, Casey saves Catherine from drowning, and the two strike up a budding friendship, but the more they get to know each other and the longer Casey watches, it becomes clear that Catherine and Tom's marriage isn't as perfect as it appears. Their shocking secrets lurk behind the most placid surfaces. I've seen lots of people recommend this, so I am looking forward to this book. So those were my choices. I picked 6. I'm hoping that I'll get through them, but I also have a library book that I partially started reading, but it's Hidden Pictures by Jason Recula. I'm probably butchering that name, but it says on the back, "I read Hidden Pictures and loved it. The language is straightforward, the surprise is really surprise, and it has that hard to achieve propulsiveness that won't let you put it down, and the pictures are terrific." That is by Stephen King. It's about a young girl who is fresh out of rehab, and she takes a job as a nanny, and the little boy starts drawing pictures. And they start out as nice little kid pictures, but then they start moving on to more interesting. Let's see if I can find one here. More interesting pictures. He talks about secret friend, or they get very intricate. An imaginary friend is what I'm thinking of. All right, well, those are my choices for September. I hope to get through them all. I'm sorry that I wasn't able to pick on camera, but such is life. All right, thanks for watching, and if you like my videos, please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys again.